What's up, do-it-yourselfers? Thanks for tuning in to Small Engine Repair Channel, where our main goal is to make sure you know that you have the ability to fix or repair whatever you want to take on. A phone, a little bit of ambition, and using technology to our advantage. We have so much at our fingertips in these little things called phones. Not phones. They are... I can't even describe them. We call them phones because that's what we were told they are, but they're not phones. That's a whole other conversation. This video is basically going to apply to anyone who's wanting to do something better. 2017. I was managing a small engine repair shop. And by the way, we're going to make a way better version of this video. I just had to get this out. I was managing a small engine repair shop in 2017. I took that store from $500,000 store a year to over $2 million. It was the first store I ever managed on my own. I was assistant manager at other places and stuff, but made that store rock star. Couldn't tell you what it is today. I hope the dude that runs it now, he's still a good friend of mine if he sees this. I hope you've made it a $50 million a year store. Like, I have no regrets on that store, but I asked for a $1 an hour raise to the owner of the company. I hadn't gotten a raise in I don't know how long. I was driving, it was 52 miles round trip a day, something like that. Anyways, I wanted $1 an hour. That's all I wanted. And they told me, talk to us in 90 days. We'll see how much you improve the store. Okay. So I started moonlighting at night. I had a mechanical ability that, not only that, I had customer service skills. I had parts lookup knowledge for the small engine shop. I mean, I ran the store. I ran the whole deal. I started as a service writer at one of their other stores. Worked my way into a mechanic position, transferred stores, managed the store I transferred to, wanted $1 an hour. Well, moonlighting lasted about a month and a half. And then the owner said, you know, this is turning into a conflict of interest of you working on stuff at night, because lo and behold, some of the clients that were going through our dealership, or not our dealership, it wasn't mine, the dealership I was managing wanted me to work on their stuff for a cheaper rate out of my garage at night. Not only that, I forgot to leave this part in. I told the owner then, well, if I can't get my $1 an hour, I'm going to start working on stuff at night, just so you know. Because I got to be able to make ends meet. At the time we had, anyways, we need to be able to make ends meet. And this is raw. This is going to be a raw one. I'm going to put it up, I think. We'll see. So I started out of my garage. For a brief stint, I did do another gig after I originally... So let me rewind. Okay. As for the $1, the owner, after a couple months, said, hey man, you're not going to be able to moonlight anymore, even though I'd asked him. We're going to need you to stop. And I said, no. Like, what? Okay, well, what kind of raise are we talking basically then, if I'm going to have to stop making any extra money for myself on the side since I'm not making enough money here? And his reply is, well, you're going to have to decide if you want a raise or if your employee wants a raise. I just asked for an employee who had been there 2 years, and she was awesome. She was a steel silver tech. She knew parts. Anyways, I had to choose whether she got the raise or whether I got the raise. Both of us just wanted $1 an hour. Long story short, I quit. Put my 2 weeks in right then and there. Actually, I think it was the next day. I think it pissed me off so bad, I told myself, give yourself 24 hours to think about it. So I did. I went home. I talked to the other gig that I did for a while, which was haying, which was awesome. It's a whole other story I'll get into another day. But Nathan, if you ever see this, man, I'm over okay now. Anyways. I hayed for a few months after I quit the dealership I was working on. Take that out of there. But I was still working on stuff at the side. I was working at a hay place like 100 miles, a little less than that, probably 70-something miles from my house. So I was basically living out there a couple days a week, coming back, working on stuff all the time, still trying to hang out with my wife and family. Yeah, it was stressful. I was answering phones in the tractors while I was out there. I was balls to the wall the whole time. I mean, not only that, they deserved me at the hay place a lot more than I was able to be there mentally. I mean, yeah, I was able to do all the jobs. I can operate any machine you put me in. But as far as like giving everything 100%, my mind was in town when I was out there. Like, I was getting phone calls about equipment. I was having to order parts while I was... Anyways, it was a cluster. And it took about 3 months of that. And I came home one day. Dad was with me. And he said, hey, dude, like, you got enough stuff here to stay busy for at least a few days, right? Have you ever ran out of work yet? I said, well, no. I said, and let me rewind a little bit more, because I was talking as soon as I quit the ranch thing, because I was just stressed. I got into it with the owner's kid. Like I said, Nathan, I'm glad we're good now. I came home from working a long week of haying and just decided it was time to go all in on my own business. Like, why not? I had a garage, a single car garage with like 9 pieces of equipment in it, quads, mowers, stuff like that. You know, small engine stuff I've always worked on. And I decided, well, there's enough work here to do it. And if I needed to, I'd go find a job. It's 2025. We have our own shop. We have my sister-in-law who works for us part-time. We went through employees. We've upsized, downsized. We don't work out of the house. We haven't for almost 5 years. But I was able to... It all just kind of just... Hey, man, if there's a will, there's a way. You don't need a computer. You don't need some fancy system. Take what you know. If you're good at something and you want to be your own boss and you want to do your own thing, take what you know and apply it. Just start. Doesn't matter where you start. Just start. I got on my phone. I figured out a cheap invoicing system. I went through 3 of them before I went finally just, okay, QuickBooks was it. We used QuickBooks Self-Employed for all my client stuff. Figured out how to wireless print. That was the whole thing. We print from our cell phones. And the whole reason I'm doing this video right now is because I just had a client go, you run this whole business from your phone? And I go, yeah. And it made me really just kind of realize we just had to start back in the... Whatever was in our way was in our way. We just had to get over it. And that's kind of my advice I'm taking right now. I'm kind of having a whole thing where I'm like, how do I get over the next hump? You just got to do it. Just move the next step. So... we'll make a whole video on small engine repair business probably one day. How I started it thoroughly. Parts lookup. POS system. Point of sale, not piece of shit. What we've done to get into our shop. How we went into our garage. The shops we moved in and out of. How that turned out. Trusting people. There's a whole long episode that could be done on the small engine repair of Redmond business. That's coming to its final chapters. We're about to move this whole thing across state pretty quick, I think. So, anyways, I want to put this online. I'm going to put it on the small engine repair channel if it goes online, and just to hopefully touch someone who's, not in a weird way, but hopefully this reaches someone, just start. It doesn't matter what you're good at. We have so much technology in our hands that I'm talking to you through right now. If you don't know how to do it, you have so many things at your fingertips that'll tell you how to. We didn't have ChatGPT in 2017. I asked Google how to do this. Google told me how to do this. I asked, what legally do I need to do? I went and got business insurance and went through a bunch of companies on that too. You know how hard it is to get small engine repair insurance? It took a while. So that's one of many hurdles that we'll go over in another episode one day. But just do it. Whatever it is.